Commander Han stood at the bridge of Earth's most advanced battleship, the Thunder of Sol. His dark eyes focused on the massive view screen that showed the rings of Saturn glittering in the distance. The ship had been his home for the past 6 months, ever since Earth's Defense Force had chosen him to lead this experimental vessel. "Commander, I'm picking up strange readings near the outer rings," Lieutenant Park Sun called out from her station. Her fingers moved quickly across the glowing control panel. "They're unlike anything in our database." Han Ta walked over to her station, his boots making soft sounds on the polished floor. "Show me," he ordered quietly. The screen lit up with dozens of red dots appearing from nowhere. At first, they looked like simple sensor glitches, but then they grew larger, much larger. "Sound General Quarters," Han commanded. Red alert lights began flashing throughout the ship as crew members rushed to their battle stations. "Get me a visual." The main screen flickered to life, and everyone on the bridge fell silent. Massive ships, each one at least 3 times the size of the Thunder of Sol, emerged from what looked like tears in space itself. Their hulls were dark purple, almost black, with strange patterns of light running across their surfaces. "Sir, they're broadcasting something," Technical Officer Kim Do reported from his communication station. "It's being translated now." A deep artificial voice filled the bridge. "Humans of Earth, we are the Void Collective. Your species has been observed and found wanting. Submit to our rule or face extinction. You have 1 Earth day to decide." Han Ta's jaw tightened. 6 months of testing an experimental ship hadn't prepared him for first contact with hostile aliens, but he wasn't about to show fear in front of his crew. "Send a message to Earth Command," he ordered. "Then get me everything you can about those ships. Power readings, weapon signatures, shield configurations, everything." Lieutenant Park worked quickly at her station. "Sir, their energy outputs are massive. I'm detecting some kind of..." "Wait." She leaned closer to her screen. "There's something odd about their power signature. It's pulsing in a regular pattern, but there's a gap every 3.7 seconds. Chief Engineer Li Jin spoke up from the engineering station. "Commander, that pulse. It's similar to what our quantum drive produces, but much more powerful." Han nodded slowly. "Record everything. We might need it later." He turned to his crew. "Earth won't surrender. We all know that, which means we're about to be in a war, and right now, we're the only Earth ship within range of these aliens." The bridge crew straightened in their seats. They all knew what that meant. They were humanity's first line of defense. "Sir," Kim Do called out suddenly. "More ships appearing. They're launching smaller vessels. Looks like fighters or attack craft." Han Ta walked to the center of the bridge. "Battle stations. Power up all weapons, but do not fire unless I give the order." He watched as the alien fighters spread out in an attack formation. "Send a message to the alien fleet. Tell them this is sovereign Earth space, and they must withdraw immediately." The response came quickly, a burst of energy weapons fire that lit up space around them. "Evasive maneuvers," Han ordered. "Show them what this ship can do." The Thunder of Sol moved with surprising speed for its size, dodging the first wave of attacks. Its experimental engines glowed bright blue as it weaved between the alien shots. "Sir," Park Sun called out, her voice excited despite the tension. "Each time they fire, that energy pulse in their ship spikes. There's definitely a connection." Han Ta smiled grimly. "Send all this data to Earth Command. If we don't make it, they'll need to know what we've learned." He turned to his weapons officer. "Target the nearest fighter with a low power shot. I want to see how their shields handle our weapons." The Thunder of Sol fired, its advanced targeting systems finding their mark. The alien fighters' shields flared bright purple, but held. "Interesting," Han muttered. "They're powerful, but not invincible." He looked at his crew, determination in his eyes. "We need to buy Earth time to prepare. Set course for the third moon of Saturn. We'll use its gravity to our advantage. His voice grew stronger. "The human race isn't going down without a fight. And we're going to show these aliens exactly what they're dealing with." As the thunder of Seoul accelerated toward Saturn's moon, Han-Ta knew this was just the beginning. Humanity's greatest test was about to begin, and they were at the forefront of it. But with his crew's recent discovery about the aliens' power signatures, they might have found their first advantage, however small it might be. The battle for Earth's future was about to begin. Chief Engineer Li Jin hadn't slept in 24 hours, but she couldn't stop working. Not when she might have found something this important. The thunder of Seoul's engine room hummed around her as she studied the data from their first encounter with the alien fleet. "Look at this pattern," she said, pointing to her screen as Dr. Yun-Mi joined her. The scientist had dark circles under her eyes, but her mind was sharp as ever. Every time their ships fire weapons, there's a slight delay in their shield regeneration. Dr. Yun-Mi leaned closer, her hands gripping the edge of the console. "It's like their power grid can't handle both at once." But why? Their discussion was interrupted by a ship-wide announcement. "All senior staff to the bridge immediately." When they arrived, Commander Han-Ta was standing by the main view screen, which showed a devastating scene. The Void Collective had attacked Earth's colony on Titan. The settlement was burning. "We lost contact with the colony an hour ago," Han said quietly. "Earth's regular warships tried to defend it, but their weapons couldn't penetrate the alien shields." He turned to face his crew. "Please tell me someone has found something we can use." Li Jin stepped forward. "Sir, I think we have." She pulled up her findings on the main screen. "Their ships are powerful, but their power system has a flaw. They can't maintain full shields while firing their main weapons. It's small, maybe half a second, but it's there." "That's not all," Dr. Yun-Mi added. "I've been studying our quantum drive's energy signature. It's similar to their shield frequency, but inverted. In theory, if we modified our drive, we could disrupt their entire power grid." Li Jin finished. "Maybe even paralyze their ships completely." Commander Han's eyes lit up for the first time since the attack began. "How long to make the modifications?" 12 hours for a test version," Li Jin said. "But we'll need to get close to them." Very close. Suddenly, alarms blared through the ship. Lieutenant Park's voice rang out from her station. "Sir, 3 alien destroyers just appeared near Mars. They're heading for the defense stations." Han made his decision quickly. "Li Jin, you and Dr. Yun have 6 hours. That's all I can give you." He turned to his tactical officer. "Kim-Do, I need you to work with them. If we get this working, we'll need a way to target it effectively." The next 6 hours were a blur of activity. In engineering, Li Jin and her team worked frantically to modify the quantum drive. Dr. Yun-Mi's calculations had to be perfect. One mistake could blow out their own power grid. Meanwhile, reports kept coming in. 2 more colonies had gone dark. Earth's conventional forces were fighting bravely, but they were losing badly. The Void Collective's ships were just too strong. "Testing phase complete," Li Jin announced, her voice strained but hopeful. "The modifications are holding stable. Targeting system is ready," Kim-Do added. "But sir, we'll need to get within 5,000 kilometers for maximum effect." That's well within their weapons range. Commander Han stood at his command station, considering their options. Getting that close to an alien destroyer was practically suicide. But if this worked... "New contact," Lieutenant Park shouted. "A civilian transport ship is under attack near Phobos. The aliens are targeting their life support systems." Han made his decision. "Plot an intercept course. Maximum speed." He opened a ship-wide channel. "All hands, this is the commander. What we do in the next hour might determine the fate of our species. I know I'm asking you to risk everything on an untested weapon, but those are our people out there, and I won't abandon them." The thunder of Seoul's engines flared to life as it raced toward Mars. In engineering, Li Jin and Dr. Yun-Mi made final adjustments to their modified quantum drive. On the bridge, Kim Do programmed the targeting solutions while Lieutenant Park plotted their approach vector. 2 minutes to intercept, Park announced. The transport's shields are failing. Quantum drive modifications at 98%, Li Jin reported from engineering. It's as ready as it's going to be. Commander Han watched as they closed in on the alien ships. Everything depended on their theory being correct. If they were wrong, they'd be throwing their lives away for nothing. But if they were right, all hands, battle stations, he ordered. Let's show these aliens that humanity isn't as helpless as they think. The thunder of Seoul streaked through space toward its destiny, carrying with it humanity's best hope for survival. The real test of their hidden advantage was about to begin. Dr. Yun Mai sat in the ship's lab, surrounded by holographic displays showing complex energy patterns. Her hands moved quickly through the air, adjusting calculations and running simulations. The fate of Earth might depend on what she discovered in the next few hours. The quantum drive doesn't just power our ship, she explained to Commander Han Ta, who stood nearby. It creates a special kind of energy field. And I think this field can break the aliens' communication systems. She pulled up a new display showing the alien ship's power patterns. See these waves? They use quantum fields too, but in a different way. If we tune our drive just right, we can make their systems crash. Like two waves canceling each other out? Han asked, trying to understand. Exactly. Yoon Lee smiled, despite her exhaustion. But better. We won't just stop their engines. We can freeze their whole fleet. The ship's intercom crackled. Commander to the bridge. Urgent message from Earth Command. When they reached the bridge, the news was bad. The Void Collective had destroyed 3 more Earth ships near Jupiter. Earth's space stations were falling one by one. We've lost contact with the Luna base, Lieutenant Park reported, her voice shaking. They hit it with some kind of new weapon. Nothing survived. Commander Han's fists tightened. How long until they reach Earth? At their current speed, less than 48 hours. Technical Officer Kim Do spoke up from his station. Sir, I've been working on the targeting system for Dr. Yoon's quantum weapon. I think I've solved the accuracy problem. He brought up a detailed diagram on the main screen. We can use our regular targeting computers, but with a twist. The quantum field will follow the same path as our normal weapons. When we fire, it'll look like a regular attack. The aliens won't expect anything different. And that's our advantage. Li Jin added, walking onto the bridge. I've modified the quantum drive controls. We can switch between normal mode and attack mode in seconds. Commander Han looked at his crew. They were tired, scared, but determined. How do we test this? We can't just hope it works when we face their main fleet. There's a small group of alien scouts near Saturn's rings, Park suggested. 3 ships. If we're wrong, we might have a chance to escape. Han nodded slowly. Plot a course. But first, he turned to Dr. Yun Mai. What happens if this fails? Could we lose our own power? Yes, she admitted. If my calculations are wrong, our quantum drive could overload. We'd be helpless. The bridge fell silent. Everyone knew what that meant. In space, a powerless ship was a dead ship. Send all our research to Earth Command, Han ordered. If this works, other ships will need to know how to do it. If it doesn't, he left the sentence unfinished. The next few hours were tense. Engineers ran final checks on the modified systems. Gunners practiced with the new targeting protocols. In the lab, Dr. Yun Mai ran simulation after simulation, looking for any problems they might have missed. Approaching Saturn's rings, Park announced. 3 alien scouts detected. They haven't seen us yet. Power readings stable, Li Jin reported from engineering. Quantum drive modifications holding steady. Commander Han took his command chair. This is it. All hands to battle stations. Weapons, prepare to fire on my mark. The thunder of Seoul glided silently through space, approaching the alien scouts. The modified quantum drive hummed quietly, ready to unleash its experimental power. "Aliens have spotted us," Park reported. "They're moving to attack position." "Let them come closer," Han ordered. "We need to be sure." The alien ships grew larger on the view screen. Their dark purple hulls gleamed with strange energy patterns. They were beautiful in a deadly way. "They're charging weapons," Kim-Do announced. "Wait for it," Han said softly. "Wait." The first alien ship fired, its energy beams slicing through space toward them. "Now," Han commanded, "fire quantum burst." The thunder of Seul's new weapon system powered up. On the bridge, screens flickered as energy surged through the ship. Everything they had worked for came down to this moment. The fate of Earth hung in the balance as the quantum burst launched toward its target. The crew held their breath, watching, waiting, hoping their theory was right. They were about to find out if humanity had found its salvation, or if they had just made their last mistake. The quantum burst shot through space like a bolt of blue lightning. For a terrible moment, nothing happened. Commander Han-Tog gripped his chair's armrests, his knuckles white. Then the first alien scout ship stopped dead in space. Its purple energy patterns flickered and died. "Direct hit," Kim-Do shouted from his station. "Their power grid is crashing." Lieutenant Park's fingers flew across her console. "The other two ships are turning to attack." "Wait. Their weapons are powering down. The quantum field is spreading to them too." The bridge crew watched in amazement as all three alien ships drifted helplessly in space. Their fearsome weapons were silent. Their shields were gone. "It worked," Dr. Yoon Mai whispered. Then louder, "It actually worked." Commander Han didn't waste time celebrating. "Target the lead ship with conventional weapons. Fire when ready." The thunder of Seul's main guns roared to life. Without their shields, the alien ship's hull couldn't withstand the attack. It broke apart in a series of explosions. "Second ship targeted," Kim-Do reported calmly. "Firing." Another alien vessel erupted in flames. The third tried to escape, its engine sputtering as it fought against the quantum field's effects. "Should we destroy the last one?" Park asked. Han shook his head. "No. Let it run. Let it tell its fleet what happened here." He turned to his crew. "Send the combat data to Earth Command immediately. Every ship in the fleet needs to know this works." The bridge erupted in cheers. After weeks of losing battles, they had finally found a way to fight back. But their celebration was cut short by a new alarm. Multiple ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. Park called out, "It's a full battle group. They must have detected our attack on the scouts." 7 massive alien warships appeared on their screens. Each one was bigger than anything they'd faced before. "Can we use the quantum weapon again?" Han asked Li Jin. "Drive needs 2 minutes to recharge," she replied from engineering. "The bigger field we created used more power than we expected." The alien ships moved to surround them. Their weapons charge, purple energy building along their hulls. "Evasive maneuvers," Han ordered. "Get us behind Phobos. We just need to survive for 2 minutes." The thunder of Seul's engines flared as it raced toward Mars's larger moon. Energy beams from the alien ships filled space around them. "Shields at 60%. Kim-Do reported as a blast rocked the ship. 1 minute 30 seconds to quantum drive recharge," Li Jin announced. Another hit shook the ship violently. Warning lights flashed across every console. "Shields at 40%. Kim-Do's voice was tense. "We can't take much more of this." 1 minute to recharge. Commander Han watched the alien ships closing in. They were coordinating their attacks now, trying to trap the thunder of Seul against Phobos' surface. 30 seconds. A direct hit sent sparks flying from a nearby console. Lieutenant Park's hands danced across her controls, keeping them just ahead of the aliens' weapons. "Quantum drive ready," Li Jin finally called out. "Target the center ship," Han commanded. "Fire." The quantum burst shot out, bigger than the first one. It hit the lead alien ship and spread outward like a wave of blue energy. One by one, the massive warships went dark. All enemy ships affected, Park reported, amazement in her voice. They're completely paralyzed. This time, Han didn't hold back. Target all ships. Fire at will. The thunder of Sewell's guns blazed. Without their shields, the alien vessels were vulnerable. Explosions lit up space as humanity scored its first major victory against the Void Collective. "Sir," Kim Do called out, "I'm picking up transmissions. The alien fleet near Mars is pulling back. They're retreating." Commander Han stood up. "Send word to Earth Command. The quantum weapon works better than we hoped. We can actually win this war." As the crew began damage control and prepared to head back to Earth, Han looked at the final battle readings. The quantum weapon had worked on larger ships too. Now they had a real chance. "Set course for Earth," he ordered. "It's time to teach the Void Collective that they picked the wrong species to mess with." The thunder of Sewell turned toward home, leaving the wreckage of 7 alien warships drifting around Phobos. For the first time since the invasion began, hope filled the hearts of its crew. The tide of war was about to turn. Mars hung like a red jewel in space, but the scene around it was far from peaceful. Hundreds of alien ships surrounded the planet, their purple hulls blocking out the stars. Earth's remaining forces at Mars base had been fighting for days, and they were losing. Commander Hantah stood on the thunder of Sewell's bridge, watching the massive alien fleet. Earth had sent 5 more ships equipped with the new quantum weapon to join them. It wasn't much against hundreds of enemy vessels, but it was all they had. "Message from Earth Command," Lieutenant Park announced. "Mars base has only 2 hours of shield power left. If we don't break through now, we'll lose the planet." Han looked at his small fleet. 6 ships against an armée. But now they had a chance. "Send to all ships," he ordered. "Form attack pattern Delta. Thunder of Sewell will lead." He turned to Dr. Yun Mai at her station. "Are the quantum drive modifications ready?" She nodded. "We can hit more ships now. The field should spread faster too." "All ships report ready," Kim Do said from Tactical. Han took a deep breath. "Begin the attack. Full speed ahead." The 6 Earth ships accelerated toward the alien fleet. At first, the Void Collective didn't seem worried. They had destroyed dozens of Earth ships before. These 6 seemed like no threat. They were wrong. "First target range in 30 seconds, Park reported. "They're moving to surround us," Kim Do added. Han smiled. That was exactly what he wanted. "All ships, prepare quantum burst. Target the closest destroyer group. Fire on my mark." The alien ships moved closer, their weapons charging. Fire. 6 quantum bursts launched at once. They struck the alien ships and spread like blue lightning through their formation. 20 ships went dark immediately. "Direct hits," Kim Do shouted. "Their shields are down. All ships, conventional weapons, fire at will." Han commanded. The space around Mars lit up with explosions as the Earth ships attacked. Without shields, the alien vessels were defenseless. But there were still hundreds more. "Second alien wave approaching," Park warned. "They're changing tactics, trying to stay spread out." "They're learning," Han said. "But so are we. All ships, switch to wide-field quantum burst. Target their command ships." The modified quantum weapons fired again, creating an even larger disruption field. More alien ships lost power, drifting helplessly in space. Suddenly, the thunder of Sewell shook violently. "Hit on our port side," Li Jin reported from engineering. "Shields at 60%. Some alien ships had managed to stay outside the quantum field's range. They were focusing their fire on the thunder of Sewell, recognizing it as the biggest threat. "Evasive maneuvers," Han ordered. "Pattern Omega-3. Keep them guessing." The ship twisted and turned, dodging enemy fire while launching its own attacks. The other Earth ships moved to protect it, their quantum weapons still firing. "Sir," Park called out. reading massive power spike from the alien flagship. They're trying something new. A huge purple beam shot from the alien flagship, bigger than anything they'd seen before. It hit one of the Earth ships, cutting through its shields like they weren't there. The Nelson is hit bad, Kim Do reported. Their quantum drive is offline. Han made a quick decision. Thunder of Seoul moved to protect the Nelson. Divert all power to forward shields. The ship moved into position, taking hits meant for their wounded ally. Warning alarms blared across the bridge. Shields failing. Li Jin shouted. Now, Han commanded. Maximum power to quantum burst. Target that flagship. The Thunder of Seoul's quantum weapon fired, hitting the alien flagship just as it prepared another massive blast. The purple energy died instantly. The huge ship went dark. All ships, concentrate fire on the flagship, Han ordered. 6 Earth ships fired everything they had. The alien flagship broke apart in a series of massive explosions that lit up the Martian sky. The effect on the alien fleet was immediate. Without their flagship's coordination, they fell into chaos. Some ships retreated instantly. Others tried to fight but were quickly disabled by the quantum weapons. Sir, Park said excitedly, the alien fleet is pulling back. They're running. The bridge crew cheered as they watched hundreds of alien ships flee into deep space. Mars was saved. Send word to Mars base, Han ordered with a tired smile. The planet is secure. And tell Earth Command. Tell them we're ready to take this fight to the enemy. The battle for Mars was over. Humanity had won its first major victory, and it wouldn't be the last. Earth's shipyards were working at full speed. Dr. Yoon Mai watched from a window as workers installed quantum weapons on yet another battleship. In the month since the Battle of Mars, Earth had transformed its entire fleet. 30 ships completed, Li Jin said, walking up beside her. 20 more almost ready. Earth finally has a real fighting chance. Dr. Yoon nodded. And the new improvements are even better. The quantum field can spread twice as far now. Their conversation was interrupted by an emergency alert. All senior officers were called to the command center immediately. When they arrived, Commander Han Ta was already there, studying a large holographic map. Red dots showed alien fleet movements across the solar system. The Void Collective is changing its strategy, he explained as everyone gathered. They're splitting their forces into smaller groups, trying to avoid our quantum weapons, but that's not our biggest problem. He zoomed in on Jupiter. They're building something in Jupiter's orbit. Something big. The image showed a massive structure taking shape. It was larger than any ship they'd seen before. Could it be a super weapon? Technical Officer Kim Do asked. We think so, Han replied. Earth Command wants us to stop them before they finish it. We leave in 1 hour. The Thunder of Seoul launched with its new fleet. 40 Earth ships, all equipped with the latest quantum weapons. They were humanity's most powerful force ever assembled. Lieutenant Park managed communications between all the ships. Fleet is in formation, Commander. All weapons ready. As they approached Jupiter, sensors detected something strange. Energy readings are off the charts, Kim Do reported. Whatever they're building, it's almost active. The alien structure came into view. It was like a massive purple ring, spinning slowly in space. Energy crackled between its segments. Analysis suggests it's some kind of portal, Dr. Yoon Mai said, studying the readings. They're trying to bring in reinforcements from their home system. Commander Han's expression hardened. We can't let that happen. All ships, battle formations, prepare to fire quantum weapons on my mark. But the Void Collective was ready for them. Hundreds of alien ships emerged from behind Jupiter's moons. They had set a trap. Enemy ships approaching in attack pattern, Park announced. They're staying spread out to minimize quantum weapon effects. They've learned, Han said. But so have we. Execute Battle Plan Thunder. The Earth fleet split into 3 groups. Each group targeted a different section of the alien fleet, forcing them to cluster together for protection. Now, Han ordered, All ships, fire quantum bursts. 40 quantum weapons fired at once. The space around Jupiter lit up with blue energy fields. Alien ships began losing power by the dozens. But the Void Collective had surprises too. Small fast ships darted between the quantum fields, firing new weapons that could pierce Earth ship shields. The Nelson is hit, Park reported. The Memphis too. These new weapons, they're adapting to our defenses. Han watched as 2 Earth ships fell back, damaged but not destroyed. The aliens were learning, evolving their tactics. Direct all fire on that portal, he commanded. We have to destroy it now. The Thunder of Seoul led the charge, its enhanced quantum weapons blazing. More alien ships fell dark, but others kept fighting. Portal is powering up, Kim Du shouted. Energy readings going critical. Dr. Yoon Mai rushed to her console. The portal's quantum signature. It's similar to our weapons. Commander, if we hit it with everything we have. All ships. Han's voice rang out across the fleet. Maximum power to quantum weapons. Target the portal's main ring. Fire together. 40 quantum bursts struck the massive ring structure at once. The portal's purple energy field clashed with the blue quantum weapons. Space itself seemed to bend around the point of impact. Then the portal began to break apart. Explosions ran along its surface as the quantum energy overloaded its systems. The entire structure collapsed in on itself, creating a massive shockwave. All ships, brace for impact, Han ordered. The shockwave hit the fleet, shaking every ship violently. But when it passed, they saw their victory. The portal was destroyed, and the remaining alien ships were retreating. Status report, Han called out. 12 ships damaged, but no losses, Park replied. The Void Collective is falling back to Saturn's orbit. The bridge crew cheered. They had stopped the aliens' reinforcements and protected Earth once again. But Han knew this wasn't the end. Send word to Earth Command, he ordered. The portal is destroyed, but we need to end this war once and for all. The final battle was coming. And this time, Earth would take the fight to the enemy. The largest fleet in Earth's history gathered near Mars. 100 ships, all equipped with quantum weapons, prepared for the final battle. The Thunder of Seoul led them, its battle-scarred hull showing the marks of countless fights. Commander Han Ta stood on his bridge, looking at the assembled fleet. 3 months of war had changed everything. Earth was no longer the helpless planet the Void Collective had first attacked. Final report from scout ships, Lieutenant Park announced. The alien fleet has gathered all their remaining forces near Saturn. Over 500 ships. They're desperate now, Dr. Yoon Mai said from her station. They know they can't win a long war anymore. Han nodded. Then let's end this today. All ships, prepare for light speed jump. The human fleet moved as one, accelerating toward Saturn. Every ship was crewed by veterans now, hardened by months of fighting. They weren't afraid anymore. Exit light speed in 10 seconds, Kim Du reported. Quantum weapons charged and ready. The fleet dropped out of light speed near Saturn's rings. The alien armada waited for them, their purple hulls forming a massive wall in space. They're broadcasting a message, Park said. Playing now. A deep artificial voice filled the bridge. Humans, you have proven stronger than expected. Surrender now, and we will spare your planet. Resist, and we will destroy everything. Han smiled grimly. Send our reply. This is Commander Han Ta of Earth. You entered our system, attacked our colonies, and killed our people. Now you ask for mercy. Here's our answer. He stood up straight. All ships, execute Battle Plan Omega. Fire quantum weapons. The Earth fleet split into 5 groups, attacking from different angles. 100 quantum bursts fired at once, creating the largest disruption field ever seen. Dozens of alien ships went dark instantly. But the Void Collective fought back hard. They had new shields that could resist the quantum effect for a few seconds, just long enough to fire their weapons. Multiple hits across the fleet. Park called out. 3 ships heavily damaged. Press the attack. Han ordered. Don't let them regroup. The battle became the largest space fight in human history. Quantum fields flashed blue against purple alien energy beams. Ships from both sides exploded in silent bursts of light. The Thunder of Seoul led a charge straight at the alien fleet's center. Its enhanced quantum weapons cut through the enemy's new defenses. Their formation is breaking. Kim Do shouted excitedly. They're losing coordination. Suddenly, a massive alien ship appeared from behind Saturn. It was twice the size of any they'd seen before. Energy spike. Li Jin warned from engineering. They're powering up some kind of super weapon. The alien flagship fired a beam of intense purple energy, cutting through 2 Earth ships instantly. All ships, focus fire on that flagship, Han commanded. Maximum power to quantum weapons. The Thunder of Seoul turned to face the giant ship, taking hits as it moved into position. Warning lights flashed across the bridge. Shields failing. Li Jin reported. 1 more hit like that. Get us closer, Han ordered. All power to the quantum drive. Dr. Yun Mei worked frantically at her station, modifying quantum field frequency. If we hit them just right. The alien flagship fired again. The Thunder of Seoul barely dodged, its hull scraping against the energy beam. Now, Han shouted, fire everything. The Thunder of Seoul's quantum weapon fired, striking the alien flagship directly. The blue field spread across its hull, but something was different this time. The energy seemed to cascade through the ship's systems. Their power grid is collapsing. Dr. Yun Mei called out. The quantum field is causing a chain reaction. The massive alien ship began breaking apart from the inside. Explosions rippled along its length. All ships, clear the area, Han ordered. The Earth fleet pulled back just as the alien flagship exploded in a massive burst of light. The shock wave hit the remaining alien ships, disrupting their already weakened systems. The Void Collective Fleet, Park's voice was filled with awe. They're surrendering. All of them. The bridge crew watched as hundreds of alien ships powered down their weapons. After months of war, it was over. Send to Earth Command, Han said quietly. Victory confirmed. The solar system is secure. Cheers erupted across all channels as the news spread. Humanity had faced its greatest challenge and emerged stronger than ever. Take us home, Han ordered, looking at his tired but proud crew. Our job is done. The Thunder of Seoul turned toward Earth, leading the fleet home in triumph. Behind them, the wreckage of the alien flagship drifted in space, a final reminder that humanity was not to be underestimated. The stars seemed brighter somehow, as if celebrating with them. Earth had won its first interstellar war, and the galaxy would never be the same.